This video is about a new Sverchok extension. I initiated, developed, and maintained the project. At present, the most basic functional nodes have been completed. It brings more interesting functionality and possibilities to Sverchok. Now you can work with geometry directly in Sverchok using the Bmesh type. Bmesh is the lower grid type within Blender. Its basic functionality is officially developed and maintained by Blender. Simply put, this extended function will be stable and reliable. There are some simple examples and descriptions on the wiki of this project. Beginner friends can view this document first. The document is not yet complete. If you have questions, you can ask questions here. I'll answer you as soon as possible. At present, Bmesh processing expansion is developing rapidly. Your participation is important. Of course, you can also give me some support. The tutorials are continuously updated on my Patreon channel. You can support me in Patreon. The development of project is based on Blender module. You can view feature descriptions in the Blender API documentation. Blender uses two modules to deal with geometric problems. Bmesh module provides common Bmesh grid processing capabilities. The Methodals module provides basic mathematical tools. The Bmesh module has 4 submodules. Each submodule provides corresponding functions. Nodes in the project will be based entirely on these functions. Plugins will be installed exactly like Sverchok. You can download the latest version here. Next, go back to Sverchok to demonstrate how to use it. After the plugin is installed, you can find the Bmesh item at the end of the menu. For the first time, you can add it to the shortcut menu. The project provides some basic data exchange nodes. Allows you to convert between Bmesh and polygon types. This is compatible with the regular Sverchok process. You can do some Bmesh processing before converting it to polygon data. Or you can export Bmesh directly to Blender. This approach is highly compatible with Blender. This means that the grid information set in the Bmesh will also be updated in the Blender. For example, UV of grid, material, stitch, etc. You can see that the development of the node follows the logic of the Blender module completely. Each submodule corresponds to a separate node. There are actually a lot of nodes in Sverchok. They are wrapped by some of the functions of these modules. These wrapper nodes all need to be the same as in the previous example. Converting between different data types. This will result in some unnecessary performance consumption. There are no problems with Bmesh types as the main body. Here's a simple example. Replenishing missing polygon data with hole filling. Bmesh processing is different from regular Sverchok nodes. Data for regular nodes is always different in memory. Nodes copy the input data before processing it. Bmesh processing always operates on the same Bmesh object. So we have to update Bmesh with a global update. But this is not the best way. The best way is to use Bmesh processing within a group. Any parameter change within a group will drive the entire group to update. When you finish a function project, you can save it as a JSON file. If you feel this project is necessary, you can submit it to me. I'll integrate it into the plugin. You can load similar projects in the sample. Next, I'll demonstrate a little more advanced usage. Shows you how to invoke the just functionality in a scripting environment. Here I will use exec node mod. Replace this node with the Bmesh process. Delete preset scripts within nodes. To use this function, we need to import the Bmesh module. The second line declares our Bmesh object. It is the first data corresponding to the input. The third line performs the corresponding Bmesh operation. The function name here is tied to our node. The function uses the name of the just-filled hole pattern. Parameters of input function in parentheses. The first parameter of a function within the OPS module does not require a keyword to be declared. Other parameters require keywords to be declared. There are obviously some problems here. Our Bmesh object name conflicts with the module name. Finally, output the processed Bmesh object. So we'll finish this advanced example. In this case, you can see that when you are familiar with a node, you will be able to call it in a script. These hundreds of functions will greatly enhance your ability to handle grids and scripts. Later, I'll develop more convenient common function based on this. If you like my project, support me more in Patreon.